right now. He's like panicking back there. Good morning, everyone. It is time for Matt and Peter React.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. On this Thursday, we have pulled a lot of clips from all over the internet, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. And there's a lot. What's really interesting is that there's always viral videos that are happening. There's always videos that have blown up, creating reactions. In many ways, these clips are essentially the zeitgeist of what the overall society is thinking about and focusing on. Now, there's obviously the technology companies are pushing and promoting these types of clips to us. But
can I stop you real quick?
Absolutely.
What the fuck does zeitgeist mean? You say that word all the time, and I didn't want to be the guy, but finally, I need to know.
Zeitgeist is essentially what, if I were just to summarize in a very short way, zeitgeist is essentially what is popular. That's all it is. What is popular? What is trending? What is on the collective conscience of society right now?
Can we just say what's popular next time?
Yeah, we can say that.
Hey, Will, can we get a nerd button or something? Every time he uses a word that's just way above our heads, we should put that out there. I have no idea. I don't understand half the words he says sometimes.
But what we want is we want Matt Kin's podcast to become part of the zeitgeist of America, so that there is Asian American voices into this world. What's happening here? 9.1 million views.
All right, this video is from. This is after the Neely.
The Neely thing.
Okay. This is like a couple of days after. In
so
New
this
York.
is the New York subway, which you've been on so many times. I've been on so many times.
It's exactly like this.
It's not a safe place.
No, I don't feel good about it.
All right. So this is that a lady or is that a man?
I'm not exactly sure, but she doesn't seem very whoa.
Okay, so first off, why is this lady just she's pulling she's pulling her hair? Why isn't she like reaching over and being like, "Yo, let go of my hair"?
I think she's just scared.
You're really that scared with all these people around you?
Hey, let's lower the volume a little bit. It's so loud in my ear. Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't believe that she would be that scared to like not just defend herself. Why is she not defending herself?
Look at that big dude just standing there.
Oh, is that a dude? Okay, it's a dude. No,
Whoa,
I think it's a lady. I think it's a lady. I saw some cleavage, some really odd cleavage.
Dude, this is crazy. Like,
okay. So let's talk about this man here. Why didn't he help?
Well, I mean, there's like 4 guys there, and some of them are big guys.
So why don't they help?
Because the Neely thing was just in the news. No one wants to get involved.
But that's a black guy. You can't. You're only allowed to not help.
Okay, in this situation,
if you're a white dude,
lady, girl, person, acting like this, everyone's on the other side.
Okay,
would you get involved?
Me?
Yeah.
If I'll give you the straight answer. I would get involved if it was just me, but if I had my wife and kids, no, I wouldn't get involved. No, because then I'd be increasing my risk exposure on them.
I mean, you've seen how they handle the guys who put Neely in a headlock.
Yes, but that's the problem.
That could be you. If you got involved.
The problem is they put him in a headlock. How many times have you seen viral clips where they just knock him the fuck out and then walk away? That's the better way to do it. Knock him the fuck out and walk away.
Well, that's a girl.
Is it a girl?
I think so.
I saw some cleavage, so maybe it's a girl.
Are you going to be the guy that hits a girl?
Well, being of the Asian persuasion, I have a little bit of latitude there. Right? If I was a white guy, then the answer is obviously don't touch, right?
I mean,
if I was a black person, the answer is I should be probably just filming it, I guess is what this guy did. But
my gut reaction is I can't believe no one helped. And then I'm like, fuck. But would I help?
Well, let me ask you that. Would you help?
I don't want to get involved in that shit.
Man, all you need to do is knock him down to the ground. You don't need to be choke holding them and shit like that. You just knock him to the ground and be like, dude, don't get back up, dude, or you're gonna get smacked again.
That chick looked fiery.
That chick looked like she was needs a
fuck
little
up and catch a hot one too. You know what I'm saying?
Could be, but I think these types of clips really make me feel sad about society because society is no longer willing to actually help. They're more willing to just bust out the camera and video record it, which frankly, I can probably state for every single one of the clips we're about to watch, right? Because someone had to stand there and do nothing, right?
So
someone had to stand there and do nothing and be like,
so for this guy who recorded, he got 1.9 million views. Good for him. That's a big video. He's got 1.9 million views. He probably picked up 10,000 people on Instagram, and maybe another 20,000 people on TikTok and some followers on Twitter. So
is this just the beginning of Black Mirror with social credit scores?
I mean, this guy kind of crushed it, if that's his point. 1.9 million views is a big video.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous now.
I know. So do you want to be the guy that hits the girl and potentially gets hit back?
But that 9.1 could be 19 million if he hit her.
That's true.
He should have gone for the hit.
And how many of these videos do people take where you go nowhere? So now you're like, okay, risk reward. How much calculation do you have to do at that time?
I think what this really, in a lot of ways, tells us is like the New York subway. And you can give me your experience, but having gone to New York multiple times and ridden the subway 100 times in my life, I mean, it is not a safe place.
New York subway, a lot of flashers, a lot of weirdos. I've seen people jerking off in there, which is really weird.
Defecating.
Yes. So I don't like the subway. I know a lot of people take it. It's the easiest and quickest way to get around. I'm not a subway guy.
It's not safe, man.
Wasn't maybe I'm kind of a pansy. I don't want to do it.
Well, it wasn't like the subway. It wasn't like that back in the day, though. It was cleaner back in the day. There was a lot more like culture, right? And understanding that the subway is a shared experience. You're not supposed to fuck with it.
I've never been like. It kind of makes you feel like a sheep, and I hate that feeling of feeling like a sheep.
But you've also been to Korea and Japan and all these other countries where they have amazing rail systems where everyone's cordial and everyone's calm and everyone's respected.
I don't think the subway's there either. I don't like feeling like jammed into a tight spot.
This guy's got rich man syndrome, guys. He can't do the subway with the rest of the plebes.
No, get the dirt on me. Like I ain't trying to do that. All right, let's go to another clip. What do we got here, Willie?
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
Oh.
It's not 10 minutes though, right?
How can you win with Russian interference?
That's a real
what I'm
thing.
scared about in 2020.
But rightly.
Because I think he's an illegitimate president that didn't really win. So how do you fight against that in 2020?
You are absolutely right.
He's an illegitimate president in my mind.
Would you be my vice presidential candidate?
Oh,
Folks, look.
he actually said that cogently.
Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016. He lost the election, and he was put in office because the Russians interfered.
Oh.
Trump knows he's an illegitimate president.
Illegitimate.
President-elect, although legally elected, is not legitimate.
I don't see the president-elect as a legitimate.
Didn't he die?
You said you believe that Russia's interference altered the outcome of the election.
I do. And we have a president who, if in fact it is proven, has been assisted by the Russians and may in fact not be.
You can run the best campaign.
So
You can
if
even
one
become
side
the nominee.
says fake election,
And you-
stolen election, it's okay. If the other side dare question,
Of course. Absolutely.
and for sake of YouTube, hello YouTube, we are alleging that it is a conspiracy, that people are saying that it's possible. We do not agree. Please don't take this video down. Just gotta be clear.
Listen to this guy kowtow into YouTube, man. You're just like whoosh, whipped by the YouTube algorithm, bro. This guy's apologizing to the bots.
Fair election. Fair.
Apologizing
Fair election.
to the fascists, man.
Yeah. 81 million legitimate votes.
Totally legitimate.
100%
Actually,
legitimate.
I think Biden got 400 million votes out of the 320 million citizens that we had here.
They are miscounting because they don't want to make it seem like he's so popular.
So we know that the media apparatus today is owned by the progressive, or people who prescribe more to the progressive ideology. Is that fair?
Correct.
The liberal ideology. And so they will always allow their liberal homies and their progressive homies to say stuff like this. But if you're on the other side of that aisle, then you're not allowed to say it.
Nope. You are not allowed.
So the question that we have to ask then is, was Trump truly an illegitimate president? Just because they said so, or there's a lot of. There's a guy right now. I saw this a tweet. I think it's a gay conservative guy. He's going to Arizona or something like that. And he said he's going to teach them out there how to ballot harvest. Did you see that tweet? So, and this was something that I know that he's pulling from Trump, because Trump said this before a couple months ago. He said, since ballot harvesting is legal, the Democrats showed us how to do it well. You guys should go do ballot harvesting, essentially egging on the establishment to say, no, you can't ballot harvest, but then that would also work not in their favor because they ballot harvest for the last election. So this guy's going out to Arizona to literally teach people. He tweeted about it, teaching people to ballot harvest so that the Republicans can learn the tactics of the liberal left and how to not steal elections, but garner more votes.
I agree. I think we've mentioned this before. I think it was a huge mistake for the Republican Party to not embrace mail-in balloting. They should have done it when the Democrats did it so well, and they said, we're just going to wait for Election Day. We've had this conversation, and it's stupid. So
let me ask you this. It's contextually relevant to that clip, which is all about politics. Why is the liberal left, why are they so much more engaged in activism than the right? Why do you think that is? Why do you? Because let's be honest, if we took a look at the left and look at the right, it is absolutely clear that the left is far more picketing, far more I was about to say rioting, looting, which I wouldn't be wrong in saying that. Much more rioting, looting, much more outcries than the right, in my opinion. I think it's pretty obvious.
It could be a really simple answer, is that the liberals tend to have majority in the cities, and in the cities is where information travels quicker. They understand technology better. They're used to technology more. So it's just a matter of simply they're in the cities versus not in the cities.
So they're more interconnected, and information passes. Or here, maybe there's a simpler answer that just I conjured up in my brain here, which would be the liberal left focus more on emotions than the right, which focus more on logic.
No, I think the right tries to do the same.
You think so?
Yeah, I think all politicians try to do the same.
Like focus on what? Emotions or
emotions?
Emotions.
Oh, try to get people to react to how their side
But
is.
you don't generally see the alt-right or conservatives screaming into microphones or screaming in protest on the ground going, right? Like Super Saiyan it.
Again, I think it just comes down to that the liberals are in the more populous areas. So when you have
does that mean mental disease is more popular in that area?
Yeah, when you have a small gathering of people or you do a protest, it's easier to get people there. But if you do it out in the middle of the farmland, 4 people show up, it's not news.
True. So it's easier in the cities certainly to congregate and group up with very little reason to do so because they're just local, they're there, looks like there's something to do. I'm bored as shit. I just got off my shift.
I got a brand new iPhone.
Yeah,
I'm going to go use it a little bit. I could use some more followers.
Exactly. Let me go to this protest and see if I can.
It could be that basic. Maybe.
Really? Maybe it is that basic.
Maybe we're just that simple of people.
Maybe it's just a bunch of mindless people who are just like, look, there's a protest going on.
It's shiny. Let me go look at something shiny.
I get it.
Could be. Let's roll another one.
Ooh, what's this one? Trans girl experiences her first intense period.
Why? Stop. Why is this thing not hot? I swear to God, if anyone says what.
Oh my gosh,
dude, that's not. I'm not overly familiar with HRT,
hormone replacement therapy.
Correct. Can it really make you have the cramps, or is it all placebo?
Please, man. Please,
bro. Your uterus may not hurt, but could you feel stomach pain from it?
He doesn't have a uterus, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Could you feel stomach pain, maybe indigestion? Right?
That's ghost pain.
Is it all ghost pain, or could you have a possible reaction where you're like, "Fuck, I feel like I'm gonna shit in my pants."
Okay, you're married. You've been married long enough. have you? I have to. I know you've had this. Has your wife or you ever had empathy pains, where has a pain somewhere in her body, and suddenly you're like, bro, like, why is this thing hurt? And then you look to your wife, and she's like, because I'm hurting you. You've never had that empathy pains?
I am just not that good of a guy, I guess.
Has your wife not? You've never had empathy? Will, have you had empathy pains with your wife?
No.
Oh, you guys fucking suck. I've had empathy pain. I'm 14 years deep in marriage, guys. I've had empathy pains. My wife has had pains before, and
you were just a nice, sensitive guy.
Oh, maybe.
So emotionally connected.
Maybe I could take that.
If you were on HRT, you would also have cramps.
I mean, like, we're laughing at this guy who's having cramps. I'm not
a guy.
I'm trying to figure out whether this motherfucker's serious or some shit like this. Okay, look, I'm not going to discount the fact that she has some pains. Those pains could certainly be real. Mm-hmm. But to say that they're period cramps, that is, I think, putting a label on something that I just don't think is physically possible.
I've never had period cramps before, so I don't know what they feel like. Maybe they feel like indigestion. Yeah.
There's a girl out here.
Should we ask her?
We should bring her in and be like, "Hey, girl, what does?" I say, "Girl, that's rude."
Miss. That's rude.
I should call her by her name. That's probably the nice. I didn't want to call her by her name because we're on live, so I didn't want to say it. But we could bring the lady in and ask her what the period.
Now you're assuming gender.
Golly, I'm terrible.
All right, let's roll another one, Will.
Hi, I'm Kiko. I'm 23. I go to UCSB, and I also bartend. Hi, I'm Kiko. I'm 23. I go to UCSB, and I also bartend.
Okay. Okay. So
let's move on. Let's move on.
What you guys? The original. She says, "I'm like 23 and I'm a bad bitch."
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, she's a professional,
certified bad bitch,
certified professional bad bitch,
something like that.
Which I think to which he responded with like, "What is that?"
Yeah,
and she was just like, "If you know, you know." Which is probably the most Gen Z response that you could possibly have to any type of question that you get. It's like, when you know, you know. Like, you're not in the in crowd, clearly. And so she's a trans, and she's been living as this Jabba, I guess, for a while now. But what's so fascinating to me is that she actually applied to be on this show.
Yeah,
which
all
means
these girls apply.
Which means she knew that she was going to get ripped to shreds, right?
Oh yeah, and
so why do they still do it, Matt?
Because she probably picked up a lot of followers from this.
You think so?
Oh yeah,
you think so?
There is an audience for everybody.
So we could go to socialblade.com, check her out, and see what her follower count was before the episode, and then follower count after.
Yes, I bet you there's a spike for sure.
You know what? You're probably not wrong.
Yeah, there is a group and
people
a community
love
of her
seeing car
who's
wrecks.
Like I feel bad for her, or yeah, she is a bad bitch, and she has a community out there. It's just about eyes.
There's a type of person that loves train wrecks, and she's kind of like a train wreck.
And so relative.
It's kind of like rubber
to her community. She's like a hero.
Oh, there's a hero found here. A hero.
Next clip.
Hero. I get it. Oh, okay.
To his Bumble date, leaves immediately and unmatches after being catfished? Hold up.
I was supposed to have a first date tonight, and he just unmatched
She's
me
cute.
on Bumble, so I guess we're not going to get drinks anymore. But I thought I would show you guys my outfit so somebody saw it. Because I know I'll get questions. My dress is from Eloquy, but I got it from D&Co. My jacket is from Asos, and my boots are Topshop.
Oh my gosh.
How is that possible? I pulls up to his Bumble date, leaves immediately and
unmatched.
So
hold on. Whoa, I'm not going to diss on the size. Like, she going to be who she going to be?
She could be really cute. If she lost like 250 pounds.
Well, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Since we're being tolerant here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hate her for her size.
Yeah.
But
I get why the guy left.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I understand the man. I mean, you can't show up being like 10 times bigger than the man expected. But even if you're like 3 times bigger, a man's gonna feel like he's been totally catfished. He's gonna feel like he's been thrown a bone, man.
So she has a really pretty face.
She does.
I could see why.
So what's fascinating is that sometimes when you get chunky,
and
your
she
face
made it
blows
sound
up.
like this is the first time that someone left her, meaning the other guy stuck around.
Well, sometimes, I mean, sometimes,
Think about how many people that stuck around then.
A tuna sandwich is a tuna sandwich, bro. Sometimes,
nice and fishy.
Sometimes you're just hungry, man. You just need that tuna sandwich, bro. Oh man, I get it. I
get it. But, they match. She's like, oh, I spent all the time to come out here. Like, fuck it, why not?
She seemed pretty okay about it. I mean, like she wasn't destroyed by this.
That's true, but she also was in shock.
But that's what I'm referring to. Do you really think she's that naive to believe that's like, hey, I did no wrong here?
No, I thought she handled it like a champ.
Okay,
all things considered.
Okay,
all things considered.
Matt thinks she handled it like a champ.
She couldn't have been like, oh, this guy like doesn't whatever, and she could have went the other way,
which would have only made her look worse.
Correct,
so
but she didn't in the clip.
Okay,
so
she was respectful.
I thought she did a good job.
Yeah.
To call Biden a criminal. Why is that?
He is a criminal. He's a criminal. He got caught, read his laptop, and you know who's a criminal? You're a criminal for not reporting it. You are a criminal for not reporting it. Let me tell you something. Joe Biden is a criminal, and he's been a criminal for a long time, and you're a criminal in the media for not reporting it. Good luck, everybody. Have a good day.
Oof. So, number one.
This is hardcore Trump, man.
I miss like just the off the cuff, shoot off the hip, like honesty about what he did.
That's what I was going to comment on. I miss that absolute aggression from a politician who is willing to just say the silent part out loud, man. Like he pointed at the reporter and said, "You're a criminal."
This is not something that was scripted. He didn't have it run through his PR team. He didn't have flashcards with the questions in advance. He doesn't have a teleprompter telling him to read this. This is just like him.
Exactly.
Whether you like it or not, the fact that he's willing to do that is what I respect.
I think that was probably the most entertaining part about Trump is that he was willing to go off script.
And with all this news coming out now about the Bidens and their affairs and their business dealings,
seems like he was right.
He's not that wrong.
But I think a lot of the left would probably be able to say the same stuff about Trump. Right?
They've tried. He's been impeached twice, indicted, raided. I mean, can anyone point at something that's actually stuck?
I mean, he works in business, and a lot of the business legalities are gray areas.
Correct.
Which you can argue on either side.
That's how people do business.
Not wrong. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying I think that is a kind of a not a very strong argument to say that he does, let's say, gray area negotiations with contracts and stuff like that. But you and I are in business. It's part of the game.
It is part of the game. And that's how they all do it. I don't know if that makes him worse.
What we don't have on Trump is we don't have his son Barron. We don't have his other kids smoking crack and hanging out with hookers.
Lying on federal applications for guns.
Yep. And using government equipment like government laptops to do all this stuff that you're technically not supposed to do on any government property. So,
plus files owned by Chinese
in his garage next to his Corvette.
Next to his Corvette. Which there are pictures of Hunter Biden driving around in at that same time.
Exactly. So here's the question we have to bring up. Why do we, or let me put it a different way. As Americans, when are we going to get fed up with literally criminals running our country? This is not a political statement from a red or blue or Biden or Trump. This is just when are we as Americans going to get fed up with allowing for clear criminals to run our country, man?
As long as the media is a part of the same organization that's committing these crimes, they can do this forever.
So as long as the media is in league with the politicians,
correct,
then they will always have the immunity from public perception and public scrutiny.
That is correct. Because they control the narrative. They control what majority of the country thinks. Majority of the country just reads a few headlines, and that's what they believe.
So true. Because we have seen articles where the title of the article says X, but the actual data in the article is contrary to that because they know no one's going to read the bloody article.
Actually, Will, can you pull up the one next, the one that the Trump one, the bombshell, the Jimmy Dore one?
Is a turning point. Today was historically bad for President Trump.
Today was a turning point.
A turning point.
We're at a turning point here.
The beginning
of the end for the Trump presidency.
The beginning of the end.
And breaking news.
We have another bombshell.
Mike Pence might have to assume the office of the presidency.
The call for impeachment.
Rumblings of the word impeachment.
Breaking news.
Another bombshell out of the White House.
I believe this is the beginning of the end.
2017 May, June 2017.
He may be feeling the walls closing in on him.
All the walls closing in on him.
The walls closing in on him.
Breaking news, a new bombshell.
One
Breaking news, bombshell.
This means the beginning of the end for
Beginning
President
of the
Donald
end.
Trump.
The beginning of the end of the Trump presidency.
Golly.
Trump will resign.
Trump is going to resign.
Is this the tipping point? I know we've said it over and over.
You think this is a tipping point?
And over and over.
This is a tipping point.
And over and over.
Breaking news, President Trump off the rails.
There's the beginning of the end today.
The beginning of the end.
It reminds me a lot of the last days of Nixon.
Breaking news tonight, new bombshell.
This is the beginning of the
Because
end.
sometimes we see these clips
The walls are
of the propaganda, but it's all within like the same week or month.
This is a very dramatic day.
This is a clip over the course of years.
This is a tipping point.
It just shows how it just goes on and on and on and on.
And if you were to watch the news only a handful of times a month,
You can mark it down.
You couldn't miss the core message.
you would think it's a bombshell.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no
The
way.
walls are closing in.
There's no way for the casual viewer to ever miss the message.
It's the beginning of the end.
Actually, it's been the beginning of the end for years, actually.
If this were a football game, we're in the third quarter. May even be the beginning of
The beginning of the
Begin
end.
tonight with a bombshell. Donald Trump.
Bombshell.
Trump is in trouble.
The president will resign.
Another hour, another bombshell.
This is a tipping point.
Golly.
This
I mean, this
president could be impeached.
I do not.
This
think
just
the
shows
president
how
will
much the
serve out
media
his
was
term.
against this man.
Resignation.
Like, we lived through one of the most powerful experiences of the media being against one person.
No way, no how.
How do you prevent this from continuing? Or how? Reality is, it's always been like this. We're just all waking up now.
Yes.
It's always been. That's what it is.
The walls closing in. This is going to be the.
We didn't
Achilles
have
heel.
technology to clip all of these over the course of years. We realized.
The watershed week.
Now with ChatGPT, you can be able to have Chat AI amalgamate all this together for you.
Yeah.
If ChatGPT was conservative.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, ChatGPT is liberal.
It's blue-haired sheepdog.
Yeah, blue-haired sheepdog all over it, man.
This keeps on going.
The bombshells, they fell.
It's entropy and it's crumbling internally.
How long does it go?
This is a long video, man.
Oh, it's almost done.
Three solid minutes. Probably goes on longer.
The beginning
Of the end?
Another bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell. Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Bombshell. This is a bombshell. It is a bombshell.
I am beginning to resent the word bombshell.
So for everyone out there that's watching and listening, if you haven't woken up, truly, truly, we tell you, the media apparatus is all propaganda.
Which is scary because where are we supposed to get honest information from?
Not the mainstream media. It is dead, man. It is so dead.
But it's, again, we go back to the idea that it's always been like this.
It has always been like this.
And yet, we as civilization have somehow survived.
I think, yeah.
Do you need a fair media?
Ooh. Not.
Because media, since the beginning of time, since media was media, has always been unfair, has always been propaganda, has always been procured content and pushed to the public of what the leaders in charge want people to believe. It's always been like this. So why do we even need a fair media? We've survived hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of years off of propaganda. Now we're like, oh, I can't believe the propaganda.
Yes. However,
But yet, here we are.
Yet, however, the American experiment has only been around for a couple hundred years.
Correct.
And
we've made it still.
And the American hegemony of the U.S. dollar being the primary world currency is coming to an end.
Correct.
So, with that context in mind, that the American experiment's only been around for 100 years, the American economic system fundamentally changed in 1912, 1913, and then in 1971 when we went off the gold standard, everything got fucked up then. Like, I think propaganda has always been there for sure. When you ask the question, do we need a fair media to survive? I would say we're probably at the beginning of the end. Bombshell beginning of the end, where we're actually going to maybe live through the recession of the American experiment, and also
doesn't matter
the loss of the dollar.
Does that matter too?
Doesn't matter to it matters to Americans who might lose jobs and lose,
do you think,
affluence and lose
because
lifestyle?
The idea is that if the long-term goal of these people who are demolishing and being detrimental to American society, if their long-term goal is a world government, a world society, a world economics, world currency, world digital currency, how does our life change?
Well, they don't care about us, clearly.
Correct.
Right.
But
so
they're not going to care more or less about us moving forward. Our life, in essence, won't actually change.
It's going to change when you have to start eating bugs, bro.
Yeah, but
and you're forced to be sterilized, and you're forced to turn off your gas stove, and you only can use electric cars.
No, I get it. Right? I get the downside of it, but on the meta level, we as a people maybe won't change.
As a people, the sheeple will always be the sheeple, and maybe it doesn't really matter if we never had a fair and balanced news media.
And the happiest people will be the ones who believe the media.
Believe the steak is there.
Correct. Those are the happiest. Ignorance is bliss.
So let's just sit on this for a second,
right?
Because
you question everything. Are you like, we're so miserable?
That's what I was about to bring up.
Yeah,
I'm like,
we're miserable.
It's because knowledge is not power.
Yeah,
knowledge is not freeing.
No,
it's actually slavery.
No. Knowledge is powerful if your knowledge is what they want you to believe.
Well, that's not knowledge then. It's just,
if
you're just part of the propaganda.
If your knowledge is the other side, life is miserable.
Man. So
just plug in. Just plug in.
You need
to plug in. Just plug in.
But would you really? Would you with
right in the back of your head
with what you know now? Would you really take the blue pill?
Fuck no. But I love suffering. you know,
bro. Sometimes I wonder, man. Sometimes I wonder if because you and I won't say this guy's name, but I have a family friend who his kids go to the same school as my daughter, my kids, and this guy, Matt, is your perfect corporate American. Like happy-go-lucky, like red pill. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like not even close. He loves being a corporate slave, loves going into his cubicle job. He's completely satisfied and satiated at the mediocrity that he has. His kids have access to private school, which is that's like the upper echelon of his success as a man. And every time I see this guy, Matt, I tell you, I feel so bad for him.
And he feels bad for you.
And that was the other side of the coin. I would say it differently. He probably thinks that I'm just taking shit way too seriously.
Yeah, because his kids are in private school. He's got his
6-figure job.
He's got his nice cush job.
Yeah, he's driving a BMW now.
Nice BMW, German. Right? He's got his 401k. He puts maximum into every month. Right?
Man.
He's got his kids' college tuition already paid for by now.
Yeah.
He's got a nice vacation home that he's been saving for. He's got a nice eye on, and he's going to pull the trigger one of these days when the interest rate gets a little bit lower.
Oh, bro.
Right?
Sounds like you're projecting your own insecurities, bro. You want to go back in the Matrix, bro?
Life is fantastic for this guy. He's got his wife.
But people like that too, though, right?
He's got a dog. He's got a couple of kids.
Yeah.
They go to vacation once a year to somewhere in Florida or maybe Dominican Republic.
Miami. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right?
He goes to Miami.
Yeah, go to Miami. Give a little bit tip to everyone, make you feel a little extra rich today.
So, but
maybe we'll upgrade to premium economy in our seats.
Bro. Right? Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking with
Life
fire.
is fantastic.
Yeah, but guys like this, right? Do you feel bad for them like I do?
So I feel bad for them.
Why?
Because it sucks to be a corporate slave, especially if you don't even know that you're a corporate slave.
But they don't know that they're slaves, bro. They think this is living.
Yeah.
So
that fake steak is damn juicy.
Fake steak is damn juicy.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. And even people who see the opportunity to be awakened, they don't want to do it. Why? Life is hard enough being in that world.
So let me ask you
Why
this.
add suffering?
I feel like I know the answer to this, but I'm just going to ask it anyway, just for extra fodder. Like, when did you kind of wake up from the Matrix? What was your moment when you were just like, the fuck is going on?
Well, I think I always
Or was
knew.
it progressive?
I think I always knew from when I was young I wanted to be in business for myself. I would not do well working for somebody else.
And so that contrary thinking, because 99% of people work for someone else.
Correct.
That contrary thinking in and of itself, that model kind of predisposes you to not going along with the crowd.
Correct.
Okay.
But
understood.
COVID really threw me off the deep end.
I noticed COVID did. You went a little bit more hardcore in COVID. You were kind of just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say before, I'm happy to have my business, happy to live life, try to enjoy life, and not take things too seriously. And then COVID happened. I was like, I can't believe we just were treated this way.
And certainly
This is
having that
bullshit.
kid change things too.
Yeah, and then the kid happened, and I was like, this is bullshit. I cannot live in a world where I blindly comply and accept. On the other side of it, there are people who have their kid and say, I need to blindly comply and accept because it's better to have a safer environment for my kid.
And there are some parents who are going even farther and using their kids as virtue signals and using their kids as mechanisms for validation that they are progressive.
Correct.
Which I think is the scariest thing. That these parents, these immature parents, are using their children as virtue signals, destroying their lives in the same process.
Let kids be kids.
Let them be kids. Let's go. Let's check out the next.
Are U.S. Treasury bonds still safe to invest in?
Very much so. I think this is not an issue of credit rating. The United States can pay any debt it has because we can always print money to do that. So there is zero probability of the.
Are U.S. Treasury
He just said the silent part out loud, guys. I think there's many people. I think most Americans still, maybe I'm wrong, I think most Americans still don't realize that the Fed literally prints infinite amounts of money.
And that the Fed is owned by the banks.
Yes, and it's not a government institution.
Yes.
It's a private institution.
Correct. Owned by the heads of the banks.
So we have a private institution held by non-elected officials who are governing and controlling our money supply.
Correct.
How fucked up is that, bro?
And all you got to do is turn on the printer.
Brr goes the printer is the meme. Brr goes the printer.
Oh, fucking money.
Bro, so here's the question. I've actually posited this to my kids, and I've helped them understand this. I've talked to my kids about this idea of why save money when they keep printing it. Why save money when they keep printing it? Why? Because all the money you're saving, they're just printing more. So why not leverage the debt, as Kiyosaki would say, because he's all about leveraging debt. Why not just constantly be up to your eyeballs in debt, you know? Why not just use debt all the time?
Or you can go the Dave Ramsey model.
It's the debt snowball and pay everything off.
Pay everything off.
So are you more of a Dave Ramsey guy?
I don't have debt.
Oh.
I know that the Kiyosaki model of leverage is interesting.
Yes. He's all about leverage.
I also know that as you leverage, one bad moment creates a really bad situation.
It creates a bad landslide of everything else.
Correct. There's something about not having debt. Although it may be more lucrative for you personally to leverage debt, there's something about not having it that's free.
Agreed.
I'd rather be free. I don't want to be a slave to the banking system. And when you have a lot of debt, you're a slave to the banking system.
You got it. Limits options.
Correct. If you don't have debt, you can literally just pick up and go anytime you want.
Absolutely.
So I think that's why. I know that if I were to leverage and do the Robert Kiyosaki model, I could probably gain more assets and make more money possibly. But you always have to look over your shoulder because you're in a lot of debt.
You got it.
I don't want to live my life looking over my shoulder.
I agree.
I'm a simple guy.
And so just to finish off that clip, I think that clip is important to watch and to be reminded of because we have a broken monetary policy and a broken monetary system. I don't have the answers, by the way, but all I know is he said, we just keep printing money. That sounds like a problem if you think about it.
It is a problem.
We should probably figure out. Someone needs to figure that out. Someone get wise. Figure out.
Don't figure it out. As soon as you figure it out, they're just going to make you disappear.
Oh, that's true too. You'll get Clinton or Epstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next clip.
I want to buy an Epstein T-shirt, but I don't think I'll ever wear it out in public. That's the problem. Fenway Park, Ghost Town.
Bud Light Ghost Town.
So funny and bizarre. Look at that. That is the Bud Light stand here at Fenway Park in Boston.
Good.
Right?
Good.
All right, kill the sound on this. We're gonna get copyrighted. Yeah.
Good. So
that's crazy.
They're at the baseball game. Everybody's buying from every vendor except the Bud Light vendors.
And Boston is an extremely liberal city.
Yes.
And even
they. But but Bostonians can also be pretty hardcore with their like don't fuck with me type of shit, bro, you know?
I understand, but they are like a democratic stronghold.
They are.
And even them.
So
let's
let's end up with kind of the meta of this Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney kind of massacre that happened with Bud Light and their ad campaign. What are your thoughts around that ad campaign? And what do you? Yeah.
So they've come out. Bud Light CEO has finally come out and said we had nothing to do with this guy. We don't want anything to do with this guy. He had to, right? Because they were plummeting.
He said that there was like some contractors or something that they
outside
didn't get
third
approval.
party and whatever.
You think that's true?
I think it's probably true.
No, I don't.
I think
they hired this social justice warrior woman who clearly is an ideologue the way that she communicates. She communicates like someone who is clearly drink the Kool-Aid of the liberal progressive kind of Marxist approach to life, which is tolerate everybody. You know, Bud Light's old school, old white man bad, orange man bad. You know, we need to make them more progressive. And frankly, the old horses and stallions and big stage coaches with Bud Light, it's just no longer cool.
So if I were to put myself as the CEO of Bud Light and people start telling me, and people in the know and people that are in charge, people at these fancy dinners like, dude, you need to get more progressive. You need to be more inclusive. You need to be more accepting. These are the hot words in society at this point, and you need to adapt. You guys are getting old. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to hire a marketing person that seems to understand what the fuck this means because I have no idea what any of this is. So who do you hire? You hire the girl that says she knows what she's doing. Awesome. Great. She checks all the boxes. It's a girl. She's inclusive. She understands what this means. I have no fucking idea what any of this means, but she does. And I'm a good CEO. I hire competent people.
No, you don't. You hire for diversity first.
Correct.
That's more important than competence, actually.
But she had a resume. So you hire, and okay, hey, everyone's telling us we need to be more inclusive. I don't know what the fuck that means. Go out there and be more fucking inclusive. She's like, I got this.
That's exactly. So you're actually on my side then.
Yeah, but
that's exactly what happened.
But the people in the board of Bud Light, who is this very old company, they didn't know it. These old guys that own Bud Light, they don't fucking have any clue.
They're not part
about
of the day-to-day operation.
They have no idea.
Yeah.
They're not running this side.
Yeah.
At least actively on a day-to-day basis. They just hired a girl that said she knew what she was doing. And she said, I got a great idea. There's this girl that's trending, so popular. Look at how many impressions and clicks and views he has.
And she has.
And they're like,
you bigot.
Okay, sounds great. The metrics line up. No one actually thought about it. The numbers said it works.
You're probably not wrong.
And then they're like, fuck, what the fuck just happened here?
Yeah, we just did a bombshell.
Yeah. He's like, I don't even know who this guy is. Girl is. Can I? And he's probably going, can I call her a guy or a girl?
Yeah, he's probably like,
he's probably doing the same thing.
He's probably like, I don't even know what to say. I don't want to offend anybody here.
Like, yo, no, well, maybe if we don't say anything, it'll just go away.
They didn't say anything for days.
Dude, maybe we just shut up.
Maybe it'll just blow over.
Maybe it'll blow over. And then it didn't. And it didn't. And it went deeper and deeper and deeper. And then they were like, fuck it. I don't know this guy. Fuck this guy. Fucking Hail Mary. Right?
That's probably it.
Yeah.
They probably came together on a Thursday night and they're just like,
dude, something. Figure this shit out.
People are not buying our shit.
Yeah.
It's actually getting worse. People are talking about us more. We haven't said anything. Should we just say fuck them?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
They're probably going, hey, did you guys see the video of Kid Rock blowing up her beer cans?
Bro.
And they're probably like, dude, what the fuck do we do? And they went to panic mode.
Of course. Kid Rock has more influence than this dude.
CEO of Bud Light has no fucks giving about activism.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
He just wants to sell beer. And they're not even American. Right? They don't give a fuck about any of this.
Actually, aren't they Ukrainian or some shit like that?
They're probably like, what the fuck just happened to us?
Yeah, probably.
And all they did was hire the girl that everyone said, you guys need to get involved in this. And they are I don't know if they were trying to be crazy woke. The society and the marketing department and the analytics said, this is good for you. Get newer, get young, get modern. And they took that little step. They didn't even think it was a big deal. And it just backfired.
But
I'm just thinking about intent. I don't think their intent was to be woke.
I think you're absolutely right because the big wigs, they're not in the day-to-day operations. They don't know what's going on.
Idea.
They have no fucking idea what's going on. They made a diversity hire, which clearly we hear this all the time: go woke and go broke.
Yep.
This was a clear example of going woke and losing billions of dollars because of this poor decision. What I find fascinating is two things. Number one, does she not look like the type of lady who would do something like this? Why do they all have wide eyes and they have that crazy Karen face? And number two, when she actually talked about it, because you saw the interviewer talking about like, you know, diversity and making sure that we're more inclusive. Like, not only did she have the crazy Karen wide eyes, but she was literally mimicking the talking points of the zeitgeist of today, which means she was a mindless zombie with even her master's degrees. That is the scariest part, is that we have these mindless zombies with master's degrees and all this education leading these companies to ruin and destruction, man. It's crazy to
And
me.
a company like Bud Light, or Budweiser, they hire a third-party market research firm, and they all get the same reports from the same 4 consulting companies. And in their report, they say, these are the hot and keywords to use.
Yes, ESG.
Correct. So when she gets her report, she looks at the keywords, and that's why they all sound the same, because they're all coming from the same market research. Yes. No one's thinking for themselves. They're all just reading.
I bet your company here, Matt, would do 10,000 times more if you started doing ESG, diversity, hiring, and like woke videos.
Probably. Because the large companies would be like, we need a company
that's ESG approved.
That's checking these check marks.
Yeah.
But that's just not me.
You don't want to make money, Matt?
Nah, I think I'm forfeiting the idea of making money for the sake of making money. Because if you want to make money for the sake of making money, especially these days, you have to drink the Kool-Aid.
That sounds like a topic that we should dive in for another episode.
Maybe next week?
Maybe next week.
Thank you, buddy.
No, it's always good being here.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Interesting episode.
That's fun. It's good. I like it.